Hi, it's Michael Ceely. I'm a psychotherapist. I work a lot with high-achieving men, and I want to talk about high-achieving men because if you're one of them, you probably have these three qualities. Number one, competitiveness. You just like competition, and you just like competing and comparing yourself to other people in a healthy way. Sometimes there's an unhealthy way to do that as well. The second thing that you probably have is you have a desire to optimize, to make things better. Somewhere it's written in your DNA that you got to strive and make things better. And that's a great quality as well, and that can also have some problems. And the third thing that you probably have characteristic is that you have high standards for yourself and for other people, and especially for yourself, and that can lead to some self-criticism. So these are great qualities to have: competition, optimization, and high standards. These three traits they're kind of like fire. Like, they're very powerful, and when harnessed correctly can really accomplish a lot of great things and give you a lot of life satisfaction. If you overuse these and you're really dogmatic about these three traits, sometimes that can lead to a lot of self-criticism, some anxiety, just really like over-optimizing things, being a perfectionist, being a workaholic. And the competitive aspect also can give you like comparison syndrome and feeling bad about yourself, or feeling resentful, or just not getting along with other people. So what I want to do today in this video is talk about how you, as a high-achieving man, can tame these three powerful qualities and really make them work to your benefit. So number one, competition. Okay, competition is fine. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I'm a former competitive athlete myself. I used to do bicycle racing professionally. Loved it. I'm still very competitive when it comes to any kind of a sport. But I don't go so far as to be cutthroat or cheat or anything like that. I just love the spirit of competition, which comes from the Latin competere, which means to strive together. It's a way to just really get the best out of yourself and other people that you're competing with. So I love competition. And if you have a healthy attitude about competition, when you're losing, if you will, in the game, if you're a athlete, entrepreneur, business person, whatever, there are times when you're losing. And if you can stay with that spirit of competition, being striving together, then you won't get down on yourself. So let me offer you some a little more pointers on competition, how to tame that in. Again, it's great. Embrace it. It's a really great quality to have. When you do find yourself in the winning season, know that it is just a game. That, yeah, life's serious. There's consequences, especially the higher stakes you're playing, and especially in business, if there's a lot of money involved. Yeah, it's serious. But at the same time, when you're winning, don't get too full of yourself. Always understand your mission. So think about writing a mission statement, or think about, like, the purpose of the competition is that you have a mission, and hopefully it's to help other people with your business. Or if you're an athlete, it's to inspire other people. That's your mission. So I want you to reframe competition as your mission. So if you're losing or winning in the game, and it's going to happen, both are going to happen, don't forget about your purpose or your mission. That is the number one thing. Okay? So that's how you can use the spirit of competition to your advantage. Okay? All right, the next thing is optimization. Okay, so I work with a lot of men in my therapy practice who are over-optimizers. And I'm a former over-optimizer myself. That's code for perfectionism. Okay? Now, this is a great trait because you take a lot of pride in creating a great product or service. Or if you're an athlete, you take a lot of pride in producing an incredible performance. You love to optimize things. You like to, if you're an athlete, you want to, dial in your nutrition and dial in your sleep and just have all these little marginal gains. And it's just, there's an art and a science and satisfaction behind that. In your business, it's the same thing. If you can tweak things and make little adjustments and make the machine run better, it's so satisfying. Okay, so that's optimization. But it's very easy to be an over-optimizer, aka perfectionist, and thinking about optimizing as sort of like this obsessive thing that you must always do. And I want to tell you that some things are good enough. Okay, I know that might be hard for you to hear. Okay, it was hard for me to really embrace that when I had to drop my perfectionism. There's a point where you can no longer really optimize more and really make it beneficial to anybody except your own ego. Okay? I know that might be hard to hear too, but if you think about it, if you have a business and you're delivering a product or service to somebody, the customer may not care about all the details that you care about. They want a product or service that solves a problem. That's it, right? And by doing so, by giving them a good enough product or service, you're making their lives better. You're completing your mission. That's what matters, okay? So catch yourself if you're an over-optimizer and ask yourself, is my product or service 90% good enough? Okay, that's kind of a good number to play with. And because if you want to get it to 95, 98% optimization, unless you're working like in brain surgery or something, like no one else really cares. They just want a product or service that's good enough. Okay. So also if you're an athlete, over-optimizing can be a problem as well. Okay. Sometimes you have trained good enough. Sometimes you can't practice anymore. And you got to let go of that egotistical control where you're fooling yourself by optimizing just a little bit more like you're going to get better results. Like, no, like you're done, okay? So optimization, great philosophy, but know when you're doing it kind of obsessively and it doesn't really matter. All right, the third thing I want to talk about is high standards. So this is similar to optimizing, but it's a little bit different, okay? So high standards mean that you care. You like to deliver great product or service or a great athletic performance. But what can happen with high standards is if you don't meet the standard, if you fall short of it, then it can be seen as a failure, or you can be very self-critical. So let's focus on the self-internal criticism. Let's say that you set a business goal, and the goal is to maybe there's a particular client you want to work with who's going to pay a lot, who's a great fit, you know you can help them, and at the last minute you're sort of negotiating with them, and the last minute they say, you know what, we're going to go with your competitor instead. Okay, now your standard was so high that you wanted to, and that's great, good to have high standards, you wanted to land this big account, it didn't happen, but understand, I want you to reframe standards as targets. And this may be hard for you to hear as well because you love adhering to a high standard. But a standard is a target that you shoot for. Oftentimes you meet the standard or exceed it. And sometimes, inevitably, you're going to fall short of your standard. Okay? You know this is true intellectually, but emotionally, it's hard for you to hear maybe. That you don't always meet your standards, but that doesn't mean you drop your standards. It doesn't mean you lower your standards. It just means that you understand standards are a target or an ideal, and no one meets them all the time. Nobody does. If you can exceed them and meet them, fantastic. But reframe standards as targets as opposed to failing the standard. There's something wrong with me. I failed. Okay? So these are like the three common things or themes I deal with when working with a lot of my clients is competition, optimization, and standards. Okay? If you can master these three areas, just like I said, and reframe them in a positive way, you're going to achieve all that you want, but you're not going to be wasting time burning energy and brain calories by overdoing things or having too high of a standard and being so self-critical. Okay, so you can drop a lot of that stuff and still achieve all that you want. It really is possible. It took me years to learn this, okay? It's through the magic of having a couple of great therapists that I worked with and really understanding cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. Look into it, read up on it. It is really a game changer. It's kind of related to Stoicism, and it helps you just have a more healthy philosophy on life, okay? So I hope this video really helped. I've been wanting to make this video for a while for high-achieving men. People see high-achieving men on the surface of having it all together and having all these accomplishments, but a lot of them are suffering in silence. They're really stressed out, or they're just suffering and being self-critical, and I want to tell you, you can throw that stuff away, and you don't have to be so hyper-vigilant, and you can still achieve all the same stuff and be happier about it. My name is Michael Ceely. I'm a psychotherapist for men, and I'm wishing you the best in whatever endeavor you're doing, and please be well.